Good evening, everyone. I am on time. I thought I was early there. So, who have we got on tonight? Why have we got Pretzel Rocks displaying again? Oh, good evening, Mark. Let me just see why there's... Good evening, Captain Rex. Good evening, Egan. I have no idea why Pretzel Rocks has decided to start posting again. Let's have a look at that. Thank you for the sub. Was it a big one? There was lots in that. So, tonight we are going to paint the miraculous nothing. That's actually pretty cool. So there's nothing there, look. Definitely a Decepticon. So, we've got a couple of bits to finish off. Again, we're going to be doing the Bot Wars stuff tonight. That's sitting there nicely. It should be pretty straightforward painting. I've got the cars finished. I've done a couple of testers on the Destroyer, not Destroyer, Destroyer, and I've got a couple of good ideas on how to put that onto the yeah, I just realised that. So yeah, a couple of ideas of how to put it onto there. Good evening, Foxy. Destroyer. Foxy, can you remember how we turned off Pretzel Rocks? It's coming up in the chat again. Is everyone? Am I okay for everyone else chat wise? I think it's got to be settings in Streamlabs somewhere, but I'm not sure. I've had a quick look around and couldn't find. Is there a volume control on your Streamlabs, Tomo? Let me just go to the decibelometer. Testing. 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 Testing, 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 testing. That doesn't seem to change much. I know I've had since we did the I can't see properties, filters. No filters applied. Gain. Is that any better? Tell us if it goes too loud. Anything? I only get so much gain and then it... I can't remember. There is a volume on my... Is that too loud now? Or is that alright? Testing. 1, 2, 3. There we go. There is a volume on my microphone, but for some reason... Right, what about the music? Music too loud, too low? Is that okay for the music? Are we all good now? Right. Sorry about that. Hopefully. Yeah, there's a couple of settings on it that I've got to play around with, and obviously I never go back and listen to myself because that's just scary. So, music too loud, too high, too low, too what? No, it's not your. It's if I've been playing around with settings for this charity stream, so a couple of things changed. I usually have the music set to 3. Right, yeah, I just need to find out how to turn the pretzel music thing off, but I have no idea why that's doing it. And I do apologise if people hear banging. I think there's work going on next door. So, where's the picture? There we go. That is really bad, Mark. So, I've tried a bit of wash down on his legs, just to dull it, because as you can probably see, it is very bright. So, I've tried something a bit different. Rather than doing a wash and then a dry brush, I did a wash and then a bit of a clean up while it was still wet. I'll show you that in a minute. So, the car is done. He's got his jets in place. Why is that? Because that again, yeah. Oh, that's what. It seems to be shadow. Let's have the lights up a bit for. Oh, I've gone a bit. We did. Let me just change my very, very bright face. There we go. Which I do need to sort out that corner. So as you can see, one leg has a bit more definition and a bit duller. So I want these looking like real things rather than cartoony-fied ones. So he's still quite dark. He is a dark colour. It's a dark blue on there, so all the jets are in place. I need to do the purple washes on the purple and the washes on that, which we're getting the washes out today. So, and then I did the chest plate, so that's had a bit of a purple wash on. Needs a couple of bit of touch up, but that seems to be coming along nicely. So my plan for him is 2 things. Oh, ow. Going to do an all over 50-50 nulling and thingy wash, but we do have that. megaphone that looks like quick setting bar. Quick setting bar, quick setting bar. Aha! There we go. Cheers, mate. You're a superstar. It is. Hopefully it's fixed. So yeah, I've got that. But then I've got fluoro green, which I think is going to be a very good dry brush colour to go over the top of it. And then we've decided on the alien purple. Alien purple for the purple parts. And then 2 metallics for the metallic-y parts. But with doing the wash, I can actually see where some of it's going to go. Did we go blue-violet? Don't think they're that far off each other, Tomo. I think blue violet has a bit more. I'll let that dry and then, sorry, I'm doing it on that. So I know that one was the one, so we've got blue violet and alien purple. I'll keep them two together. And then obviously I've picked up a couple of metallics to do the metallic bits in. So if I quickly I'll go up the full screen. I'm just gonna scrub in the wash. So I actually saw a very similar thing. I've watched some videos from Luke's APS, Luke Fellows. So what he was doing, I'm sure it was the Space Marine one that I watched, but it gave me an idea. So he's washed, well, what he's done is he's washed his whole Space Marine, but rather than, or to save time doing as much highlighting and stuff like that, he then just takes a piece of cloth and rubs the top surfaces. And that just then saves quite a bit of work in the layering or dry brushing. So if you're doing that, cross it all. And who said you can't teach an old dog new tricks? It's 50-50. Half Nullin, half Lamium medium. It's my 50-50 mix. I just think full pure Nullin might give it too much of a dulling. Too much Nullin gives it a dulling. Oh god. Dear. So a lot of these are going to get covered in different colours anyway. I know the hands are going purple, those ribbed bits go black. Oh, I'm doing the metallic. So I'm not following the exact guides, as it were. Just getting the trucks and stuff like that. Oh, I've not checked today to see if they've got the mini ones back in, the trucks back in yet. Should have checked that. Still not spent on birthday money. Oh, poor pretzel rocks. Got timed out. Bad pretzel rocks. So, I have seen this sort of done before, but it was people doing it with, what they're called, cotton buds, when they're doing oil wash, or washes with oil paints. Has it come back? They'll get them. I'm in no rush, but I've tried the other. See, it's got a purple toggle on or off, but you can't tell what it's meant to be. Did I get it? General audio playback. Who's playing? Announce who's playing. I have set it, but it doesn't seem to be taking effect. Stupid pretzel rocks. Yeah, even in the I found it in the settings as well now, with you saying that. But even flicking the settings on and off isn't changing. I'm wondering if we have to reboot it. Yeah. Might be worth muting him for a while. Right, that's it. That's the Dragon Goal. I was waiting for Kinger to come on. I spoke to Kinger last night. The Dragon Goal is getting mixed up with the normal goals. So there was not. When I went to get some more bits and pieces of cards tonight, I realised that we had the problem that I couldn't tell which was which. So what I did was took out what I guessed was normal stream goals, which totaled £35 for the month, and the others I have still got written down on a piece of paper, and I need to figure out a way to do the Dragon Goal separately, if that makes sense. Either that or it puts everything on hold for the actual normal workings of the stream, which I didn't want to do. So in the meantime, and Kinger will approve, but he better not tell anyone, we have a Tesseract project incoming. So I'm going to be doing another. It's one up from what we did last time, so it's a little bit bigger than the last Tesseract goal. But I do have a note. I think we are at about £75 into the ghoul. It's October. October ghoul. Ghoul. Oh. Oh no, it's not a ghoul. No. I know what you mean now. No, the October goal is just the standard goal that we've got at the moment. I still really need to work out how to do a separate goal for the a separate ghoul. So I'm going to put some basing. I forgot to bring the basing material in. It is. The thing I'm doing is. It's not a ghoul, but it could be Halloweeny. I'm just hoping it comes in time for next week. I want to do it on next week's stream, and I'm hoping that it's going to turn up for next week's stream. A Halo Banshee. Right, let's have some proper glasses so I can see. So with this being quite small scale and still using the base material, I'm not going to splodge it like that, because basically splodging it like that, I'm going to move the camera. Splodging it like that is going to make it look huge, so what I've been doing is spreading it out as much as possible. Not just because it's expensive. No. This is probably the cheapest way to base miniatures going. So yeah, basically just smearing it on as thin as possible. You still get the sand effect, but you don't get the huge ridges that we normally use. That gives it the ability to look realistic, even with when we put the wash over the basing material. It still looks reasonable. It doesn't look out of place. It doesn't look as though you could put little rocks in to like mimic rocks and stuff like that, but especially with the cars, some of the track, somewhere the cars are driving, a car wouldn't get over some of the lumps that we normally do anyway. Yay, Pretzel Rocks is timed out again. So yeah, just getting this roughly down, getting in between his toes. Just, see. It does base lovely, even when you're using a very, very thin amount of it. Obviously, if you can see the black through, that's going to get filled with the wash when we do the wash anyway, so it's not too much of a... to get to. A little bit more. Good evening, mate. How are you? Oh, wow. You went there. Much disappointment. I'll swap you for mine. So there you go. You see you've got very small ridges and peaks and troughs and stuff. I'm trying to keep it limited. Don't want it too full. Didn't you see what I got? I'll swap my Kickstarter stuff for yours. That's what I got. A lovely pack of sleeves. No, I've not had the notification either yet. My notification was for Reichbuster's card sleeves in the end. Which made me very sad. They got £420 of my hard-earned pennies, so I'm really hoping that I did back it. So that is move the camera again. There we go. So that's him. I need, what do we do, purple or nulling? I'm going to go with the 50-50 nulling. It seems to, it works. So I'm just going to try and pick up the purpley bits. Just to give them some, and the metal. Because the purple and metal haven't had any kind of shading whatsoever. The green had the shading from the pre-shading from the metallics. So if you look at his back, it's totally perfectly clean, and I'm more wanting a used look, that sort of thing. And then the metals, the metalwork had aluminium. Let's go with it. Blend it all in, because then it gets the purple in there as well. Yeah, that's cool. So his hand, I'll do the whole staff. With the washes that this is getting on and the airbrush work, it's not that big a job. There we go. A quick flip over. Let's get the purple and the face. Don't say, you could do the whole thing if you wanted. There's no harm in covering the green again. I just think it's got quite a lot of highlights on. Right, what I'm also going to try and do is the bottom row of teeth without getting too much into the glow. That's okay. That's worked. So managed to splat silver all up onto the wings somehow. Don't know how. So, there's Ravenous. Other than we're going to be using Gamer's Grass tufts for this. Again, these are the mini tufts, which are the tiny tufts. Now they're only about 2 mil high, so as you can see on there, they do look like quite big bushes in comparison to the car sort of thing. They're going to look great on Destroyer because that'll give a lot more effect of him being big. If I put the normal tufts on, which wouldn't look out of place, wouldn't give him as a big, it wouldn't make him look as big sort of thing. I'll try not to touch. So, a bit of build up in the book here. So I'm just quickly looking for big build-ups, trying to pull some of it away. So yeah, I'll let him dry, and that'll be good. So I do have Drooky Eye. So the Drooky Eye I did on that side, which I missed that bit there. And then holding on to that bit, or not. I can just throw it away. Oh, I have. There it is. So the bits that can be seen are going to be the flaps at the back, but I'll do the whole thing. It's mainly that line there that we're trying to pick out. And then it matches all the colour up. Wipe it there, that's good. Cool. So that is, can I actually start doing some of the metal work on him? I think I can. Especially some of it's going to be metallics anyway, so it's not going to be too much of an issue to smudge. Dark. So this is, everyone saw the picture I was going off yesterday. There's dark silver and light silver plates. So I'm going to go with the dark silver first. He says, I'm not being able to see it. So it's these arm plates, any wheels and tires, truck plates, tracks, possibly, yeah. So that's So I'll go with the silver and metallics first because they're easy coat. Just make sure to get them all, and then if I do hit any of the hand part, it's going purple anyway, so it's not going to be too much of an issue. Quickly, and does it go all the way up to the hinge? So the hinge is, so that bit there is light silver, so as long as I've got the bits that I need in that, we're good. Stuff goes on, so I know it's airbrush paint, but as you can see, even with just using it with a normal brush, it goes on so smooth, and it is a really good paint. I do enjoy using all of the metallics by LAAT, especially these. As I say, they're an airbrush paint, but yeah, really nice. So again, going around just the glove part. The gloves going, or the fists going purple anyway, so a little bit of care, but nothing. If you splash it a bit, it doesn't really matter. There we go. Thank you very much, Ulfric. That's much appreciated, mate. So the other bits are going to be so the metallics of the tracks. Again, just the other track. Just being careful around the green there, because that's going to remain green. I don't want to get the metallics all over it. Just remember that the green is actually two colours, so if you do get metallic, the silver on it or anything like that, then you're going to have to redo it in white and then put the green over the top of it, just to get the same effect. You could try using the fluoro greens just to touch up the bits that you've messed up, which is probably what I would try first, actually. And then that's it. You just take that little bit extra care with it. And I am using the big brush because there's a big surface area to cover. The legs are in a light silver. The head. Oh, is there any? So there's no green on the head. Which is a shame. An all metallic head. Hello, Kinger. So, after our discussion last night, I was waiting for you to come on to explain it, but Ulfric's already asked. We've put the stream back to a normal stream goal. The dragon goal is still there. I have it written down separate. And I need to work a way to do both of them at the same time. Because as it stands, we were getting nothing into the stream funds. So, I went to buy some cards this week for stream giveaways. And it was all in a pot for the Smaug. So I have split the pot, put the goal back to what what I think was stream goal and what was Smaug goal, and we have round about I think it's £70 or £75 for the Smaug at the moment. So if someone donates, yeah. So if someone wants to donate for the Smaug, then type Smaug in the chat for now till I find a way to do it. But without Kinger telling anyone what I've ordered, we do have something in the meantime to fill in the Tesseract colours. Saying that, he's sat working on a Tesseract. This is meant to be Tesseract. So, yeah. I need to do that bit and that bit in silver and then purples, but not with that brush. It is definitely not 3D printed. It was ordered last night possibly. And it will be amazing. I'm just picking up the silver bits. Maybe we should have done the blacks in the centre of the tyres. The blacks on the outside of the tyres first. But anything that needs to be silver is getting silver headed. If paint wasn't toxic to the skin and probably cause all kinds of issues going everywhere, I would possibly do a sponsored Tesseract bath. As long as it was for charity. it's non-toxic when you put it on your fingers, but I don't think that's included if you swim in the stuff. Have we not seen Goldfinger? Yeah, you would have to find a shop willing to buy enough Tesseract to fill a bath. Because, trust me, if that bath ain't filled, you don't want to see what's... well, most of you already have, but... you don't have to go through the exposed card issue again. I could do an incredible Hulk impression. And there would be a big problem. I wouldn't be able to come on the stream afterwards. So... because obviously I'd be green and I would just disappear. Hello, Doom Fairies. We were just discussing Tesseract and how much of an effect it would have on someone's body if they were to bathe in it. Yeah, I could see that one going down well with GW. Hi, you've got some loon who wants to bathe in your paint. I'll be honest with you, I have turned the camera down. The cameras have been turned down slightly just to... oops. We have metallic tyres. Right, I'm going to go back to the big brush. I'm going to do the spike, all the spikes in it. The thing is, once you start adding other colours to the mix, like the metallics here and on the Desi, the stripes and stuff like that, it does tend to mute it down a lot. And it becomes more palatable to some. Not everyone. You missed it earlier. I think I've found the highlight for Tesseract, mate. Let me just get this metal down. With my painting skills at the moment, you might get to see it because I keep coating the wrong things in silver. So we have look, definitely a hole in that piece of paper. Yeah, I think that may work better on the matte side. Because you're going to get to see it more. Yeah, there you go. Yes, Joe, it is. I could be lying. It is LAAT Premium Airbrush Colours, and it is green fluoro. It's 62039. You do need to really shake it. Green fluoro smell. It could be. Two things, you really need to shake this up. And it needs to go over a white base coat, mate, just in case you're going to use it. Any of the fluoro colours, whether it's Wicked Colours fluoros or Vallejo fluoros, always over a white base. Yes, as Tomo said, Doom Fairies, the metallics that I use all of the time, the metal colours are metal colour airbrush colours. It's just thin, but a lot of the time you'll see me thinning my paint anyway, so you get to a point where sometimes airbrush paints work better for what you're doing. So my go-to skin colour is Kislev Flesh by Kislev Flesh. Where are you? Kislev. So I use Kislev Flesh for all my flesh colours, and then add washes to it to change the actual colour of it. So that's my base colour, but that's quite thick, so I tend to water it down all the time. Or if you buy the same paint is the Kislev Flesh in the airbrush from GW, it's slightly, so you're getting less paint and less pigment, but you're just getting more, technically what people would call water, but it's actually more thinners or paint medium than you are in that one. You could probably, he says that feels very, no, I thought I'd gone solid there. You could thin it down quite considerably and get more paint for the same money. I just got a load of the Kislev Flesh air colours cheap because they changed the stickers, so I got new ones. I got the old ones cheap. So yeah, and it just means I can go straight to it, use it, and it's ready to go sort of thing. Most paints are paint. It's a pigment. It's a medium that it's suspended in. Giving the ratio of medium to pigment gives you your different things. You've got base colours. Base colours are a high pigment, and they don't have as much medium in. The layer colours have less pigment in. Then washes, again, they're more of an ink, but they're still on the same principle. You can make a wash out of any colour just by thinning it with lamium medium to the point that it turns into a wash, and a bit of flow improver. But you can, at the end of the day, it is just pigment particles in different suspensions, and it just depends how you want those suspensions to interact, sort of thing. But most things can be used for. The new ones that do break the mold is the contrasts, because then they're using a different base, so you've got to use their actual thinner with them. Even going as far as the texture paint is just brown paint with sand in it, but it's a little bit more complex than that, but it's round about that sort of thing. I've just noticed under there I've missed a huge chunk of metal work. Yeah, metallics have paint pigment and then metallic flaking as well to give the metallic look. Yeah, it's all about the same sort of stuff. So that has the digger bucket got? He hasn't actually got the digger bucket attached. How strange. Strange indeed, Mr. Bond. But do I do them? I'm going to go in there with the tyres. Yeah, I'm going to do the thighs as well. No, mate. Again, you don't know what's already been added to turn around and say, I do it 50-50, or I do it 45% this and 10% this and 5% this. It becomes one of those things that it eventually becomes like natural. You pick up, like everyone keeps asking me, or when I'm airbrushing, what PSI am I spraying to? And I'm sat there going, yes, I'm spraying with enough air to put the paint out. I don't actually have an exact PSI. My PSI meter's under the table, so I don't really check it. I just know off the noise, if that makes sense. So if it's making a lot of then it's good for primers and stuff like that. If it's doing, or I've got it turned down, it's good for everything else, sort of thing. It's strange, it just becomes second nature, so you never, and it's hard to teach that to someone, if that makes sense. All I can say is just play around with it, get used to it, spray bits of cardboard and stuff like that. You've seen me do you've just seen me do it tonight, test colours. These were from the Transformers card game. Keyforge, huge lot, cool. And I use them for note taking, and I also use them for colour swatching and testing and remembering things. But I'll just go, boop. Yeah, that looks okay. Or I'll get the airbrush on it and do it with the airbrush. And the amount of is the amount that it needs. And again, it's the same for the paint, thinning the paint. It's hard to understand until you can actually put the paint in front of someone and go, right, thin that down to what you think should be good. Each paint is different. Even batches of paint, you could hit a white, and white's notorious for being different consistencies depending on who and when it was made. But if you go and thin a white down, it might be you 50-50 it to get a good thin white, and then you go out and buy that white again 6 months later, and it might not work the same. Same pot, same company, same brand, everything. GW had a batch of the new their new white that was just grey. I don't know if it was a fault or what, but a lot of people found it wasn't working well. We were doing stormtroopers with them, and they just weren't working. So batches of paint. Yes, Apothecary White just had issues. But you get certain paints you get used to, and you know, like this, the silver is very well coating. It's very high pigment. The medium works because it's very thin and it's set up for airbrushing. So I could just throw it into an airbrush straight out the pot. Where some of the GW paint, the normal GW paints, if I was wanting to airbrush, like anything, the corn red or anything like that, it would depend on one, what thinner you're using, because there isn't technically a thinner to change GW paints into airbrush paints, because they already have their range. The best one I've found so far on the market is the Airbrush Medium by Army Painter. That works on so many different paints, just thinning it enough. You can thin with water, but you can find it separates a bit like curdling milk sometimes. And also that has a flow improver as well, so you can actually stop the paint drying up on the nozzle as much. It gives it a bit more chance to get out at the end of the airbrush and then start drying when it hits the model. So I'm about yes. Ask Tomo. I have bottles of it. I've emptied pots into these bottles, and when I thin, I tend to use. I mainly use that on their washes, because that works really well in the washers, but I have used it on the paints when I'm being a bit posh and trying to do a good paint job sort of thing. But in all honesty, Lamium Medium is just the paint without the pigment. So if you've done Their airbrush thinner, Mark, has... I don't know, it's a very chemically smell. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I buy lamium in bulk just to sort the washes out. So lamium technically does thin the paint, but it adds paint. It basically adds the medium without the pigment. So you are thinning it, which works well. What the airbrush medium does, it is thinners and flow improver. So it thins the medium and makes the medium flow. When you put that through, that can actually still clog the airbrush. I'm trying to find it. I think I binned it, Mark. I did have a bottle of the GW thinner. I think I do have the other one. He's a blast from the past, Mark. How about that? That is the pot from Forge World. Yeah, it's what I can't get my head around. So, it's all water-based paint. Yeah, I know. So it's water-based paint. It can be thinned with anything water-based and stuff like that. But theirs is flammable. It doesn't say what's in it. But it is... I'd say it's alcohol based. Yeah, it's... You can taste it as well, which is scary. So there's other companies out there. The Vallejo Airbrush Thinner 161. Now, Steve from Badger showed me something with this. I didn't drink it yet. Certain airbrush thinners and certain paint react with one another. So what he did is he put 4 spots of different paints in a tray and then dropped airbrush thinner, Vallejo airbrush thinner onto each one, and 2 of them went crystalline. So he was like, if you're using it and you put it through your airbrush, it's going crystalline in your airbrush before it comes out the end. And that was quite scary, to be honest. What else do I have? Cleaner airbrush. See, I've got loads of the probably. Oh, that's a cleaner, but yeah, 3 or 4 bottles of the thinners that I don't use. Even the new formula, which was ancient. I should have a clear out of this stuff. Airbrush flow improver. But yeah, the one that I've gone to, and I don't seem to have troubles with it, is the War Paints one. Now the War Paints one is designed to turn all of the Army Painter stuff into airbrush, and we've tried it a few times and it's been spot on. I've never had any problems with it so far, hence why I use it on everything now. Every paint that I use, I normally have a pot here thin that I use as a thinner. Right, so we have metallics in place. Let's get some purple down. So we're going with the blue violet, Tomo, and if it's all wrong, I am blaming you. Is that alright? Cool. And I'm going to use the cheap airbrushes, yes, Mark. All airbrush seals are damaged while you're using them. Moving parts, stuff like that. Anything like that will wear airbrush seals, whether you've put thinners or normal stuff through. Some alcohol based can do more damage, but I don't think it's as long as you clean it after you use it, I don't think it's that much of an issue, so to speak. If you're using enamel based paints all the time, maybe's. But even then, as long as you're stripping, cleaning and putting it back together. Let me just do this purple and I'll quickly show you. I know the seal that people always go on about. Breathe inly and out. Oops, upside down. I'm trying to think how to explain it. They're a nylon seal. I've not had. Yeah, I think certain thingers can damage them, but I think the ones for my Sotars are about 80p each, and you're not going to run one out in a couple of weeks of using it, sort of thing. You're talking months and months before it actually would be noticeable. So we've also shared this to the Bot Wars group tonight. So I was wondering if any of the Bot Wars lot have joined us. Where's the purple? So those bits of purple. So it only has about 3 or 4 bits of purple. They're all right. I've been posting my painted stuff in there. As I've been doing it on the stream, and I posted the stream last night and I got a few likes. I was hoping some people, I'd like some of them to come in and interact and see what they're painting, and some of this stuff's just coming out now, so it's not massively available at the minute. There's only a couple of ways to get hold of it. And the creator's a canny bloke. He's always on the forum talking and chatting and asking stuff, so hopefully we will get some games in quite soon. Either that or I'm just going to keep getting the stuff off him and painting it. I know Foxy's Yeah, I know that feeling, mate. We've managed to get like a handful of games in here and there as well. It's quite scary to actually think people are not being able to do anything. Right. Oh, wrong one. So this is how it's going to look. There is still like the black tyres to go. I was going to say the windscreen, but this doesn't have the windscreen on the same place that does. I'm going to re-wash. I'll wash the purples. I'll wash the silvers. What other silver bits did I have? I'll leave that as it is. The face needs a different silver on. There's no guns on it. I'll have a look at the other. I've got 2 pictures of him. So that one's the actual. So I think a bit of artistic license just to add some purple bits here and there, just to break up the green, I think. We're even one step worse than that at the moment. We're waiting for test results, mate. So we're housebound-ish. Just waiting for a couple of test results to see where we're at. As I said the other day, I have no idea how some places are staying open. It's just Zoe at the moment. So she had. We're 90% certain it's not, because she went to York for a birthday with Joe and got soaked. So it's more likely pneumonia or something like that. But we don't think it's COVID. She hasn't got a temperature. She hasn't got any of the other symptoms. It's just a cough. According to all the bits and pieces, we're doing it ourselves. We're having as little or no contact with anyone at the minute. But the guideline says me and Joe can still go out, and it's like, so that's a whole interesting way of dealing with it. But very much thank you. It is appreciated. as I say, I know you guys understand. It's just one of those things of how on earth can certain stores in the northeast, not mentioning any Middlesbroughs, have managed to remain open and flaunt the rules and still keep getting away with it. So yeah, I've just picked up some of the bits and pieces that don't necessarily need to be. It just gives it a bit of a breakup of the green. So we know one of the rules, again, it makes no sense at all. Part of the rule, I don't even understand it fully. That seems alright. Get some washes on that now. Was someone in a household had been put in for a test. Their parents were still going to work, and his sister was still going to school. And he was in isolation in his bedroom for the 3 days waiting for test results. Which to me sounds balmy. Yeah. I'm on the fence about it, Mark. I think you put any event on and you're going to get, we've seen it, you're going to get people turn up because people want their social interaction, they want to play the games. And I don't blame the players. I tend to look to the actual stores that are doing it. And as I said, I had to inform a handful of people that there was a potential risk and we'd been exposed here, and it made me bad. I was just so worried that I wasn't bothered about me or anything like that. I was more bothered about there was a chance that I'd passed it on to someone. And obviously, especially with it coming from Zoe, I felt even more responsible that I'd let her down as well. But then again, we've never been in this kind of situation before, so it's not something that you can turn around and say, oh, well, do this, this and this, it works fine, because no one really knows yet. Oops, purple's not drying. Oopsie. Yeah, and I'm only a small concern. You worked at IQ. Imagine have to tell every person that's been into IQ over a weekend that there's a possible problem. It must be so... I think all these stores that have just said pick up only and you can come in and browse, but you've got to be socially aware and all that sort of stuff. I think they're the ones that are actually taking it more serious than a lot of places. The other thing I'm going to do with this is once it's all fully dry, because I keep it in batches of wet paints and stuff, is I'd like to do an all over metallic dry brush, very light, just to give all of the whole body look of like metallics. He's still very bright. That just dulls it off a bit. Yeah, I think that's might be selfish, might be, I don't know, overcautious, but I think that's the right decision. I think one of the telling things was if you go and look how many URLs have disappeared. I have a friend who may have informed me that certain URLs are vanishing quite quickly, all down the names of things like COVID claims and virus claims and all that sort of stuff. If people are picking up websites that they think in a couple of years' time, you can then go, I caught it here, it's your fault. You know what America's like at the moment for you sneeze in the wrong direction and you get sued the living bejeebers. Yeah. How many insurance companies are going to jump on that? Especially now PPI is not a thing, because PPI claims have all closed, and my mate does work for a PPI company. So at a guess, we'll see the crisis through sort of thing, and then we'll be hit with a wave of even worse things of, yes, yeah, yeah. I just think that in the snowflake age that we're in, that if you can blame something for someone, something on someone, then you're going to end up if you've got people trying to do that sort of thing, what chance do we have? We all need to lock ourselves in vaults and then probably get sued by Fallout for nicking their idea. So yeah, as you can see, all I've done is, and you can actually see quite clearly on the close-up, so the sand's just giving it that little rough bit of texture to get what I needed, and that'll be him. I don't want to go too mad on these. They're going to be toys to play with sort of things, so he will just be a robot to attack and play with. And the same will be for this. Once this dries and starts to, I'll get some metallics over it. I'll get the blacks on the tyres. What time is it? It's only past. The problem I see with it is, it's going to be places that have like shops that have flouted the rules. So if you go into Bob's game store and Bob tells you and everyone else in there that you don't need to wear your masks, you're all fine, and then everyone catches COVID there, 2 years later all those people get picked up by the same solicitor, all say the same thing, that Bob said it was alright. I think that's when you start getting the claims. Any of these stores out here that did do the right thing, didn't open, or didn't, I'm not didn't open, didn't open would give you your full coverage sort of thing, but I mean stores that have allowed people to turn up willy-nilly and just flout the rules. I think this could be a time that could be quite interesting. That's if they're still around. Because at the moment, us game stores are dropping like flies. We've had a local one announce that they're closing at the end of October. Tea at Heart and Games at Heart, which is really sad. A local at Hartlepool. They were a big part of the community over there. Then we've had Rebel Base Gaming announce that they're closing. Johnny Wright. Then there was another one. Can't remember the other one's name. Yeah. I think the thing you've got to do, and luckily Beanie's managed to do it quite quickly, is adapt. And it's horrible because the stores that are adapting are then really hitting my areas where I sell. But for stores to stay open, they really do need to start working online and doing online sales and stuff like that. Not as much as online events, because that opens a whole new kettle of interesting fish. But yeah, things like just the general sales. I know you can do your Konami and all of them are allowing what's normally the pre-release events. You can buy a pre-release kit now and take it home and do it with your friends or your family at home. That was really good. Magic are doing a Konami for Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon are doing it. It is a good idea. Especially because they've had 2 big releases during lockdown. They've had to do something. Yeah, Rebelbit. I think it's Macclesfield. It's that sort of area, Manchesterish area. But yeah, Johnny, he was well up in doing what's it called? Destiny. When Destiny was out, he was a big Destiny seller. We did all sorts, like 40k, all the Warhammer stuff. Didn't he do... He's big in Lord of the Rings stuff as well, Matt. I think he plays. Almost certain he's in the group talking all the time. You didn't hear it from me, but keep in touch with him. He might still have opportunities like that. Guild Ball League? Great British Hobbit League. Great British Hobbit League. I thought it was Guild Ball for a second there. Oh. That can all go black because there's definitely a silver centre in them. Itchy nose. I'm not very good at Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit or anything like that. I've only had like a handful of games, but let's get through this and I might come down. I do have a couple of friends who love the game And if I mentioned it, I'm sure they would definitely be interested in coming. Once all this is over, of course. Are you guys on streaming tomorrow night? Doom Fairies? I keep missing it. I do apologise. Last weeks have been a bit of a blur. I'll come along and chat. I say I'll come along and chat. Oh! Pourquoi? What? Help? Has it been announced, mate? Gossip? Come on. Snowy's. I think Snowy's talking to me, but I've got it muted, and I'm dying to click it on to see what he's saying. Snowy's. I think. I can hear myself. Ah! I can't hear you, Snowy, but I'm definitely gonna come on. I'm 20 minutes. Give me 20 minutes. I need to know. Stream is now 18 rated. So yeah, I've got the 9. 9 ring wraiths from Forge World, and I've got dwarves from Forge World. No, not dwarves from Forge. I've got normal dwarves. So I'd probably knock some up from them and come and have a daft laugh. I do like the ring wraiths though. And if you pull your finger out getting all of this money together, I might have a Smaug to play with. I like Dystopian Wars because we played it at Expo and it was really, really fun. Needs more Eagles. There's a great Eagles team in it. The only downside of it, Tomo, is it's very expensive. I bet Kinger still hasn't found me my barrel riders yet. We've Snowy and a couple of the others have played it, and Snowy's in the chat at the moment ish. If they're going plastic, I'm well up for that, but I've already got 3 times 3. It can be, but if you're wanting the Eagles like Tomo does, it's not cheap. Yeah, there is that. Thing is, Tomo, not many games are getting played at the moment, full stop. I spent money, my birthday money, on a tank, and I've been playing World of Tanks because, yeah, silver. This is the lighter silver. A couple of bits on the face and yes, it really did look fun. We had a good crack of the whip at Expo, and it was a good laugh. I don't remember doing very well with me and Sai, wasn't it? Where else was the light silvers? Come on, Lee. There it is. Some metal scrapings on the metal. Those two bits, I wanted them more pronounced like the picture was. Oh, that's where they were. Those metallic bits there. Big brush. Could be me in the market for a new compressor, the way this one's been going for the last couple of days. Question is, Snowy, would that scratch your navel itch? Or would you still be looking at other navel stuff? Have to admit, that one that you pointed out, I had a quick look and it did look, I didn't see how big the ships were physically, but it looked alright. If I don't fill that order tonight, I could end up buying a Bismarck at least. the other brush again. Back to the darker metallic just for the centres of the wheels. Let's have a bit of the bright silver as well, right in the centre. So the chest plate has that bit in silver. I'll dry brush that. I think leave it overnight for a good dry. Oh, I need to do the washes. Yeah. It's there. Yeah. I can see that. Doom Fairies. And I totally misread what you said, and I thought you said itchy bum, which really threw me to start with. There we have. So that is the wrong one. Destroyer, not Devastator. This is Destroyer. Destroyer Vator. Right, in that he just has a black visor. Can't resist. Still got minutes left. Minutes before I need to look at finishing off. So I've still got the bright silver to do. Yep. I'm going to give him a red visor. Once that's dried. That's better. So yeah, once that's all dried, I'll give it a bit of a silver dry brush all over, just with a big, probably with the big fluffy. Yeah, I'll quickly do it, see what it looks like on that. It's going to show up close up, but you get the metallics coming through. And it is only a very light dry brush. But that just sets it off. These are, throwing them on the floor isn't that good. These dry brushes are £15–16 a set from us, and they are fantastic, especially for the big stuff. We do our own for the smaller stuff, these ones, which Snowy will tell you. Snowy loves our mini dry brushes, but when you look at them side by side, they're totally different sizes. But these are good for stippling as well. Very good for stippling. I do need to get some more dry brushes in stock if I can get hold of them. They seem to, since I spoke to the bloke who made them, they seem to have gone out of stock quite quickly, and we've not been able to get any more back in since. So, which reminds me, I should go and nick a couple more myself off the stock shelf. So, bit of a recap. We have got one car done with flames underneath for the by the way, the flames were just they were painted in grey sear, and then I used Gulliman, the bloodletter glaze and the yellow glaze from GW just to make them look like flames. It's like, and then we have Ravenous with his glowing mouth. His base is nearly dry, so I'll probably get that finished for tomorrow. And then Destroyer. Once Destroyer's finished, I get some good photos of him. He still needs work, but I actually managed to break him off I haven't broke him off the base. I just need lots of basing material, because he's going to be like in the middle of a construction yard, and then obviously tiny tufts. So yeah, I did the glowing mouth with the airbrush, unfortunately. So you can, if you were to do it with a normal brush, you would just do the white in there to start with, and then even with the airbrush we caught loads of it. It's best just to do that bit at the start, sort of thing, and then you work your way out and get the stuff closest to the edge, like the teeth and the stuff like that. Yeah, I've still got, so that'll be 3 done out of 1, 2, 3, a lot. But some of them, like the A-Team and Knight Rider, are all black anyway. The 3, not him. Where's the other one? Where's he gone? Nope. I've lost one. Is that it? Is that it? No, he's one of that. There is one of them missing. So he's a named one. You know, when I've knocked these off, I think I've lost one. How was that? No, that's them. So they're just generics. There's no colours for them. The robots are one army and the cars are one army. So I've technically got 2 armies on the go. But I've also got robots that I'm missing from the set. There is... There we go. There's 5 that go to make him up. Those ones aren't. When you go onto the site for those 3, there's 12 of them. and when I try to match up who was who, I'm almost certain that the other named ones, the actual named ones, I'm sure that's Starscream in his squad. Sorry, I'm sure that's not Starscream's squad. These are just, I don't know. But there was lots of they named 11 or 12 of them. So, yeah, I think carte blanche with the colours on them. But I do want them different. But I want all 3 of them the same. As you said, not Starscream's squadron, but they may have the truck. I got... Why is... Everything's gone dark again. The truck, the metallic came through really nice. So, holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays are... Yeah, nothing to do with Coca-Cola, honest. Mine does. And then the blue, which is quite dark. I don't know if I'm having problems with this camera. Let me just try if it's the red causing an issue, because that's the only thing that I can think of that we've changed recently. I might have to have a look at what's causing that before next week. That is a dark blue though, so I can't really complain. But oh, is it my hands? Ha! That is strange. So yeah, we're gonna. Oop, the bat wing fell off. A few bits more to get it. Ravenous is nearly done. And then I've got the 2 trucks and 1, 2. I've got the purple and the blue deceivers to do, and then all the little cassettes and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I'm not going. Excuse me. I'm not going to be able to do all of these on the live stream because I want them done. So I will be starting to get bits and pieces painted and put to one side, ready for playing at some point. Christmas and Halloween. So it is. Oh, it's 9:05. Thank you everyone for coming by tonight. As usual, it's been brilliant. It's good to have you there and chat and tease me with dystopian wars and stuff like that. But yes, as usual, we will be back next Wednesday night. Again, if we do anything extra over the weekend, I'll let you know as soon as possible. Being locked down and stuff like that, I might get a few more extra streams done here and there. But in the meantime, good night everyone, and as usual, stay safe. Catch you soon. No Kinger.